Yes, people, what's happening? Nice one for coming back to the Fuse UK. It's much appreciated as always. Tonight's guest making his BKFC debut in Leeds. Naff Higson, what's happening, brother? You good?
Yeah, I'm not too much, mate. I'm good. How are you, buddy?
I'm all good, mate. Thank you. I appreciate you coming on and that, bro.
Right, it's all right. I'm glad to be on it.
Good, man. And I was wondering if we could start by talking about where your journey began in combat sports, bro.
Yeah, of course, mate. So my combat journey started roughly when I was like, let's say 19. I was 19 stone, and my dad went, "Can I swear on this or not?"
Yeah.
Yeah, right, okay. So he's like, "You're a little backstreet. You need to get into a gym." He took me to an MMA place in Chorley. He took me into a session, and I got my head caved in, and that's where my addiction started. And I started losing weight. I signed up for a fight, and I thought, "Fuck it, I like this. Let's do it."
Yeah, and was MMA that you done?
Yeah, it was MMA originally. Muay Thai and MMA was my basis. And then a few years went by, I stopped competing, stopped training, and I was like, listen, I need a new, what's the right way of putting it? I need a new goal. And then I saw bare knuckle, and I was just like, oh, that looks like something I want to do.
Yeah, I remember watching your debut. Was it your debut in Sheffield against George Thorpe?
So that's my ring bare knuckle debut, and my actual debut was for Spartan, and I fought for the BMF belt against John Platt.
Yeah. Well, how did you find the transition over from doing the mixed martial arts to the bare knuckle?
I think MMA quite helps the boxing side of things with bare knuckle, because what a lot of people don't realise is that I train out of a boxing gym with amateur guys, and they pepper my head off. I'll openly admit it. They pepper my head off because they're amateur boxers. Now in the bare knuckle, you're not doing the glove blocking; it's more slipping with your hands, and that's more what MMA style is. It's like slip, parry with your hands, catch, and then catch them with a shot. So I feel like I slotted a little bit better into the bare knuckle than I expected I would.
Would you say like the whole build up and training prep, everything's the same?
I think all fighting's very similar for getting ready. It's just the style of training you're doing. If you're not training correctly for any sort of combat sport, you're going to get your ass handed to you.
Yeah, 100% you are, mate, definitely. And in Sheffield, when you fought George Thorpe and your first in the ring one, that was your bare knuckle ring debut. How did you find that whole situation, and obviously the fight with George?
And obviously I knew about George because of Conor. Obviously everyone knows Conor Tierney is like the #1 UK bare knuckle boxer, in my opinion. And then I found out I'm fighting this kid called George Thorpe, who's like his main training partner, and I was just like, oh, here we go. I'm being fed to the wolves. I think, to be honest, they thought he was going to run through me. And then obviously that wasn't the case. We drew, which is a shame. And me and George are good friends now. We want to run it back on BKFC, which hopefully after this fight we can do. But yeah, no, he was a tough opponent. He was a lot better boxer than I expected. But then again, he trains with Conor, so you can fully expect that. But yeah, he was a good opponent, and I'm glad I did it, because I don't want to fight. Not to disrespect anybody, but I'm not here to fight bums. I either want to fight people who are worthy, and if they beat me, they should have beat me. Or if I beat them, then I've done my job. I don't want to be losing to people who I shouldn't be in there with.
Yeah, definitely, mate. I see where you're coming at with that. It's just pointless getting in there, innit, when you're not going to be really achieving anything.
Exactly.
So now you've got the opportunity to fight on the BKFC. How does that feel, mate, fighting for the biggest platform in the world?
I always said to me, Mrs., she wants me to never fight bare knuckle again, surprisingly. But I said I've got a goal, and it's even if it's to fight for BKFC once, that's the dream for me. Obviously, fight multiple times, make a career, you never know. But fighting for BKFC it's a big thing to me, and that's why I don't know if you've seen any of the stuff. I'm training my ass off more than I ever have.
And do you know much about your opponent who you're fighting?
Yeah, surprisingly, with the fact like I fought Conor Tierney's boy, I'm fighting one of Ricardo Franco's boys. So I'm being fed to the wolves again.
Love it, don't you?
Yeah, mate, he's good. And I don't know too much about him, to be honest. I've seen a little bit about him. He's called Aaron. I think it's Blakey. I don't want to butcher his name. Seems a really good kid. From what I've seen, he seems like he really is training. He seems like he's doing recovery. He's putting the work in with Ricardo and Anthony Holmes. Seems like he knows what he's doing. But again, for me, I like that, because if I can put a stop to this track of this guy who's training with these monsters, then where does it put me? And I'm just an average guy who trains predominantly on his own.
Yeah, so did you ever see yourself like Are you going to see this as a sort of career choice, or are you just doing it as like a one-off and see where it goes? Or you're like fully focused, thinking, I want to do this?
Years ago, I wish I would have got into this years ago because I think I could have made a really good run at it. I'm not stupid. I'm getting older. I've got a family. There's these kids coming up who just punch your head in. But I do think right now, the way I'm training, if I keep going the way I am, I probably could make a fair decent run.
Yeah, of course, mate. Anyone who puts it's bare knuckle as well. Like, it's the ages in bare knuckle are a lot older than what they would be in professional boxing or MMA.
No, which is another reason why I wanted to do it, because like this looks more like my age range. But again, I'm not stupid though. These kids now, because bare knuckle's becoming popular, some 19, 20-year-olds who are doing it are phenomenal, and they're going to start wiping a lot of people out. But then again, I'm pretty tough. I've never been dropped, and I'm hoping that stays the way. And I like a bit of a brawl, but I like to box as well. And I don't think a lot of people can have got the heart that I've got.
Yeah, and obviously, when you're saying that there was, it is getting actually younger because there's 18-year-old now who fights in America for BKFC.
Exactly, and these kids are going to get a lot more experience than we old ones have got, and it's a completely different ball game. Boxing and bare knuckle, they are the same, but they're not. They're completely polar opposites. If you pull a boxer into it against a good bare knuckle guy, the bare knuckle guy will win.
And when you think about it as well, like 18-year-old, you're still a kid, aren't you?
Exactly. Your brain's not mature, and like it's not saying you can't take a shot, but your brain's still developing, and it doesn't know how to handle some big impact.
Yeah, it's crazy, like getting in there fighting like fully grown blokes and that 18-year-old bare knuckle. It's some fucking bottle of that, isn't it?
I mean, my first fight, I was 18, and I fought a guy at 31, and I retired him. So I'm 31 now, and obviously I fought George, who I think was 20 at the time.
Getting hell, man. And did you watch the BKFC London card?
Yes, I did, mate. I watched it with my family. God, they're making moves in the world, obviously in the UK. Obviously, props to Andrew Bakewell for taking them to where they are currently and bringing it onto this side of the show. But the show's becoming phenomenal.
Yeah, it's just war after war after war. Good matchups and that, innit?
I think I'm not obviously. I know you're not, but Conor only got robbed in that last fight.
Yeah, it was bad. It was bad, wasn't it, mate?
That's all I'm going to say on it.
Yeah, it was. I wouldn't even get into it. It's horrible, mate. Don't even want to bring it back up. It's depressing, and thinking about it.
I mean, I like Conor and I like George. I like that team, and I just feel like he was the future for us, and he's just kind of taken away. But he'll be back. He'll get on another winning streak, and he will be back. Sometimes the loss is good because it gives you a fuel up. You like kicks you up your ass a little bit. Like he's already said, he keeps going on piss ups after his training. No, he's not. He's lost, and he's like, no, I'm not doing that anymore. Just sticking to training. Yeah,
100%. It's not as if he's done out wrong in his camper out though, because in my opinion, the fight shouldn't have been stopped. And I think a lot of people and the fans and that were watching have sort of seen it like that as well. So it hasn't been that much of a harsh. Even Jake admitted it. The lad who he was fighting was like, "Fucking hell, I don't want it to get stopped. We have to run that back." So it's not as if he got fucking flaked in the ringer out, is it? And totally knocked out and beat. Do you get what I mean?
Bare knuckle, you can get caught by anyone. You can fight an average Joe guy off the street. He can get you on a clip and you're going down. With no gloves on, your brain is not taking that impact and your chin's not. You are going down.
Yeah, 100%, mate. And what can we expect to see from Naff at BKFC 40?
I'm not going to predict anything because I don't like doing that. All I'm going to do is I hope, obviously, he's training like I am, which he looks like he is. But not been dropped yet, so he can test my chin if he wants. But I know for a fact if he puts me down, I will get up and I'll just keep coming forward. And I've got a lot better at boxing. So if he wants to brawl, I'll brawl with him. If he wants to box, I'll box with him. If I think I can't brawl with him, I'll box his head off.
Class. And what weight are you fighting at?
I'm fighting at 85. My last fight was at 78 kilos, and somehow I've managed to put 14 kilo on. And I've grown a lot of muscle from my changing my style of training, just eating right. And now I'm trying to cut 7 kg I've got left to drop for this fight. I know it's like 3 weeks and a half away, but a water cut will be sweet.
Yeah, so what you're going to do, just cut it gradually or just do a
I'm starting to bring it down now. I'm hoping to only have like 2-3 kilo left to lose, and I'll just water cut it out at sauna.
Yeah, cushy.
However, I don't know if you'll know, you follow Bad to the Bone at all. One of our guys that we train with, Gaz Hayes, he was the European heavyweight champ. We made him drop 7 kilo in 2 days.
Fucking, I seen you at Bad to the Bone the other week in Stoke.
Yeah, like with Gaz was the one obviously I was calling. But yeah, we used to doing big drops. It's not always efficient, but if we can do it healthily, we'll do it.
Yeah, there's some mad crazy fucking weight cuts like that I've fucking heard of. Jesus, like fucking, what was it? Fucking 16 fucking key or something mad like that.
Yeah, no, I'm not doing out stupid like that. I've cut a fucking leg off to do that, mate.
Yeah, it's bad like. But
and hopefully, sorry, go on.
Is that the weight that you were going to be fighting at? The weight that you like? Is that your comfortable weight?
You know what? I feel my best at 82 kilo, but like I said, my body's growing. I don't know why, but my body's growing. So 85 it is for now. It might even be cruiserweight in my next one after this. Obviously, I might not actually get to fight. Me and George have agreed to fight in the next one, but George is a smaller guy. I don't know if I can even make that weight anymore.
Yeah, you look like you've got a lot bigger. Like when I seen you at Stoke to Sheffield, you look like you'd had enough put some beef on.
Yeah, well, I tore my quad and I dislocated my elbow. And while I was recovering, I literally just did strength compound movements with one arm, just squatting and just deadlifts. Yeah. And I just stuck to the basics and I just piled a load of size on. But it's crossed over quite well for my for the boxing because the power's even higher now.
Yeah, of course. And obviously, before we wrap it up on that, mate, is there any shout-outs, sponsors, big ups like that you want to give a mention to?
Obviously, I'm not going to share any sponsors because I currently have none. So I'm looking for sponsors. If anyone is interested, obviously get your name on the BKFC. Hopefully, I can represent you proud. I do have one backing. That's Criminal Gym Team. I'll give them a shout out. They're the best clothing brand, in my opinion, in the world. If you have a look at Criminal Gym Team on Instagram, you'll see what I mean. And I just want to give a shout out, if she's watching, to my wife and my kids, because mainly I do this to make them proud.
Good man,
even though she hates it.
And if anyone's watching, mate, who watches the video back or who's watching the video now and they want to sponsor you, how can they reach out to you, Naff?
You can reach me on Facebook at Naff Higson or on Instagram at Nathaniel Hurricane Higson, and hopefully someone wants to jump on board because, as a lot of fighters know, it ain't easy, this game. We need sponsors sometimes to pay for kit, for camps, for whatever, and it does go a long way. Like, don't get me wrong, you get money with work and stuff, but to make it that step further, we need the backing of other people.
Yeah, of course, mate. Well, like I say, it's 3 weeks away now. Hopefully you can jump on again, mate, before the event, and we'll have a catch-up while we're getting on in camp. And that.
You tell me when you want. I'll be on, mate. I got all the time in the world for you.
Same for you as well, mate. I really appreciate you coming on, Naff.
Cheers for that, buddy. Well, I'll speak to you soon, and no doubt I'll see you anyway at the show.
Yeah, 100% you will, mate. Speak soon, brother.
See you, buddy.
Ta-ra, mate. Yes, people. I'm going to put all Naff's social media in the description, so make sure you head over there and follow this guy on his bare knuckle journey. All these lads are putting in the hard work to put on good shows for yous and bringing these entertaining fights. And also, he's looking for sponsors, so if anybody wants to sponsor Naff as well, make sure you click on the links for their social media, drop them a message, because it's a huge platform to be on. Do you know what I mean? And he's a good lad, as you can see by the way he talks, speaks well. So help a guy out, man. But we're back live in 15 minutes. So make sure you stay tuned, people. Thank you very much. See you soon.